This morning, I found another strange bundle under my pillow. It was wrapped in red cloth and filled with dried herbs, bones, and dark powder. But instead of being scared, I just smiled. My mother-in-law was getting predictable. Another curse, Maya, my husband, Alex, sighed from the doorway. Mom says she saw dark spirits following you last night. Oh, really? I held up the bundle. Is that why she left us this lovely gift? Alex ran a hand through his hair, something he always did when frustrated. You know how she is. Maybe if you just. Tried what? I interrupted. Let her burn sage in our house again. Wear the charms she keeps sneaking onto me. Except that she thinks I'm the reason for all your family's bad luck. My mother-in-law, Mira, believed in spirits, curses, and bad omens, and for the past 3 years, she had decided that I was the cause of all her family's problems. It started at our wedding when Alex's dad had a small heart attack. Nothing serious, just too much food and dancing. But Mira took it as a bad sign. Then, when Alex lost a big job opportunity, she blamed my dark energy. The worst was when Alex's younger brother, Tommy, had a car accident last year. He was fine, but Mira was sure I had cursed him. I found her in our bedroom yesterday, I told Alex, picking up the bundle with a tissue. She was cleansing our space. Did you give her another key? Alex looked guilty. She just wants to protect me. Family means everything to her. Family. That word was Mira's favorite weapon. She always made sure I felt like the outsider. She never wanted me to marry Alex in the first place. What about the black salt around our bed? The strange symbols behind our photos? The dead chicken in our garden last week? Were those all protection too? She's just worried, Alex mumbled. Ever since Tommy's accident. Your brother fell asleep at the wheel after playing video games all night, I said firmly. That's not magic. That's exhaustion. But I knew facts wouldn't change Mira's mind. She had spent the past year spreading rumors, warning Alex about me, and planting cursed objects in our home. What she didn't know was that I had been paying attention. I had been studying her rituals, her beliefs, and her superstitions. Every charm she left, every spell she performed. I wrote them all down. I have to go, Alex said, checking his watch. Mom invited us for dinner. She says she had a vision about your aura. I nodded, already making a plan. Of course she did. Tell her I'll be there. After Alex left, I carefully placed the black bundle in a special box in my office. Inside were all of Mira's past gifts, cursed coins, graveyard dirt, even a lock of hair she claimed belonged to a witch. I had photographed, dated, and logged every single one. The full moon was in 3 days. Mira always said that the full moon reveals the truth. This time she was right. I picked up my phone and called my friend Sophia, a cultural anthropologist who specialized in folk magic. Another gift from your monster-in-law, she asked. Black bundle under my pillow, I said. She's getting bolder. Time to move forward with the plan. Sophia laughed. Everything's ready. She won't know what hit her. I glanced at my calendar, where the full moon was marked. Mira thought she was the only one who understood the power of rituals. She was about to learn otherwise. Perfect, I said, closing my journal. Let's see how she likes a taste of her own magic. Tonight's dinner would be interesting. Mira would probably serve her clarity tea, hoping Alex would see my true nature. But she had no idea I had a surprise of my own. Mira's house always smelled like strong incense and herbs, the kind that made your throat scratch. Tonight, the scent was even stronger. As we stepped inside for dinner, I noticed red candles flickering everywhere and new protective symbols above the doors. My son. Mira rushed to hug Alex, making sure to stand between us. I've been so worried. The spirits were restless last night. I raised an eyebrow at Alex, but he just looked away, caught between his mother's beliefs and my disbelief. Come, Mira said, leading us to the dining room. I've made a special meal to remove bad energy. The table was covered with her usual rituals, salt circles around each plate, black candles at the corners, and her infamous tea set ready on the side. I already knew how this night would go. Alex's younger brother, Tommy, was already seated, looking uncomfortable. He had tried to tell their mother that his accident wasn't my fault, but she had convinced him he was under my influence and couldn't trust himself. Maya. Mira said my name like it was poison. I had a vision about you last night. Really? I took my seat, purposely messing up the salt circle around my plate. I saw her eyes narrow. What kind of vision? I saw darkness around you, spreading to my family. She poured the tea, making sure my cup came from a separate pot. But don't worry, I've invited someone who can help. Right on cue, the doorbell rang. Mira hurried to answer it, returning with an older woman dressed in layers of shawls and more crystals than a jewelry store. This is Madame Verna, Mira announced proudly. She's a real seer. She will reveal the truth. I took a sip of tea to hide my smile. Everything was going according to plan. The spirits are active tonight, Madame Verna said as she took a seat. The full moon approaches. Secrets will come to light. Under the table, I sent a quick text to my friend Sophia. Showtime. Madame Verna will perform a revelation ceremony, Mira said excitedly. She will help us understand what's really been happening. Madame Verna arranged crystals and herbs on the table, pushing aside our dinner plates. I watched closely. She was performing exactly the ritual I had studied. Hold hands, she commanded. We must create a circle of truth. As we linked hands, the dining room lights flickered. Mira gasped. Right on time, Sophia. The spirits are restless, Madame Verna said. They have much to reveal. Suddenly, the room grew colder. Another trick Sophia and I had planned using the smart thermostat I had helped Mira install last month. Someone here has been working with dark forces, Madame Verna continued. Someone has been placing cursed objects. Yes, Mira interrupted. In my son's house. I keep finding them. No, Madame Verna's eyes snapped open, staring straight at Mira. The spirits show me someone planting these objects. Someone who pretends to protect but actually wants to harm. Mira's face turned pale. What? No, that's wrong. My phone buzzed. I pulled up my photo gallery, pictures I had secretly taken over the past year. Images of Mira sneaking into our house, planting cursed objects, performing rituals to frame me. The security cameras I had installed had captured everything. The spirits don't lie, I said, turning my phone so everyone could see. Every full moon, Mira. That's when you came to plant your evidence, wasn't it? I was protecting my family, Mira stammered. By faking curses? Madame Verna's voice was sharp. By trying to break apart your son's marriage? The spirits are not pleased with deception. Alex stared at the photos, his face filled with shock and realization. Mom, you've been sneaking into our house to do this? Tommy leaned in to look. Is that why you insisted on having a key? To set up these curses yourself? The lights flickered again, this time stronger. A sudden gust of wind, courtesy of the smart home system, blew through the room, snuffing out the candles. The spirits demand truth, Madame Verna declared, and they will accept nothing less. In the darkened room, Mira's face was illuminated only by the glow of my phone screen, still displaying the damning evidence of her deception. The security footage played silently, Mira sneaking into our house at midnight, planting her cursed objects, performing her rituals, all carefully staged to frame me. The spirits are not pleased with those who use sacred beliefs for manipulation, Madame Verna continued, her voice stern. They demand restitution. What Mira didn't know was that Madame Verna was actually Professor Veronica Martinez, a colleague of Sophia's who specialized in studying how supernatural beliefs were sometimes used to control family dynamics. She'd been more than happy to help expose Mira's manipulation. I did it for the family, Mira insisted, but her voice wavered. She brought bad luck from the moment she joined us. Dad's heart attack was from his undiagnosed high blood pressure. Tommy spoke up, his voice quiet but firm. My accident was my own fault for driving tired. And Alex's lost project. His competitor had better connections. None of that had anything to do with Maya. Alex stood up suddenly, his chair scraping against the floor. All this time, Mom. You've been trying to destroy my marriage, break up my family, and for what? Because you couldn't control everything anymore. The smart home system Sophia was controlling created another cold breeze, making the curtains flutter ominously. The spirits show me more, Madame Verna announced. They show me a mother's fear, not of dark forces, but of losing her grip on her son. They show me a woman who would rather create chaos than accept change. Mira burst into tears, but for once, Alex didn't rush to comfort her. Instead, he walked over to stand beside me. I've been blind, he said, taking my hand. Maya never tried to come between us. Mom, you did that yourself with all your accusations and schemes. I squeezed his hand, feeling the tension of the past 3 years finally starting to release. I never wanted to prove you wrong, Mira. I just wanted you to accept me as part of the family. But the curses, Mira protested weakly, were all planted by you, I said gently. Every full moon, like clockwork. The security cameras caught everything. The only dark energy in this family was the doubt and fear you created. Tommy stood up too. This has to stop, Mom. Maya's family now, whether you like it or not. The lights gradually came back on, Sophia's final cue. Madame Verna began gathering her crystals. The spirits have spoken, she declared. They say this family can heal, but only if truth replaces deception and acceptance replaces fear. Mira sat in her chair, looking smaller somehow. All her carefully constructed schemes had crumbled, exposed not by dark magic, but by simple technology and her own predictable patterns. I'm keeping the security cameras, I said quietly, and Alex and I will be changing our locks. But Mira, if you're willing to start fresh. No more curses, no more accusations, I am too. Alex wrapped his arm around my shoulders. That's more than generous, considering everything she's done. Mira looked up, mascara streaking her cheeks. You forgive me. Just like that? Not just like that, I corrected. You'll need to earn back our trust. But family is family, right? Isn't that what you always say? 3 months later, things had changed dramatically. Mira started seeing a therapist to work on her control issues. The black bundles and cursed objects stopped appearing in our house. She even enrolled in a meditation class to help manage her anxiety about losing her sons. Last week, she invited me to help cook for the family dinner. No specialty, no salt circles, just regular food and conversation. As we chopped vegetables side by side, she finally asked the question I've been waiting for. How did you know? About the full moon timing, about everything. I smiled. You taught me well, Mira. I learned to pay attention to patterns to look for signs. I just used that knowledge differently than you expected. She nodded, actually looking impressed. Maybe you do belong in this family after all. Coming from Mira, it was practically a declaration of love. I accepted it as the peace offering it was. Later that night, as Alex and I got ready for bed, he noticed the small protection charm Mira had given me, a proper one this time, not a curse in disguise, hanging by our door. You're keeping it? He asked, surprised. Why not? I shrugged. Sometimes the best way to break a curse is to choose to believe in blessings instead. He pulled me close, kissing my forehead. When did you get so wise? Obi and I grinned. Just something I learned from your mother.